It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. That, of course, is Pantera with I'm Broken. And kicking off the show tonight, we heard something from the Texas Hippie Coalition with Dirty Finger. And a guy who knows a little bit about waving a dirty finger around in the air, my good friend and partner, Chris Aiken. What's going on, Chris?
What is up, sir? How are we?
Wow, you're booming.
Am I?
Yeah.
Turn this down a little bit. Let me go here. Turn that down. How's that? Is that better?
You're pretty loud.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I'm fucking with the speakers. One moment, please. Where's the microphone volume? Devicey properties. Let's try this. How's that? Is that better?
Much better.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
You come out the gate, they're just blowing me away already. Boom!
What is up, man? How are we?
Well, here we are. We're in October.
Yes.
It just seemed like it was July.
Just seems like this wonderful year is just flying by, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, as many days as we may not have left in our lives, this year could basically, not exist as far as most people are concerned.
What a shitbag year, man. Just terrible. It's like, and every day it gets worse somehow. That's the ridiculous part. You keep thinking that it's bottomed out. You keep thinking that 2020 is like a drug addict that's just waiting to hit bottom. And every time you think it does, it digs another little hole underneath it and dives into it. It's fucking unreal how bad this fucking year is. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, it's been a very bizarre existence.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it. I see people, and I watch YouTube videos, people from various parts of the world, and no matter where you go, it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's living normal life. Everybody's out wearing a mask no matter where you go. I watched this girl, she does these exploratory videos where she goes out mostly in the West Coast.
Okay.
And she kind of explores ghost towns and, goes out to, remote places and,
sure,
and whatnot. But she was in Reno last week. And I've been to Reno. I don't know if you've ever been to Reno or not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that town might as well not exist anymore. I mean, it was deserted. It was literally something like out of The Walking Dead.
Why is that? Because of the COVID?
Yeah, the COVID, basically all the casinos are closed.
Right.
And most of the businesses that depend on the casino traffic, they've closed for good.
Sure.
Their storefronts are closed. Everything's closed for good.
Mm-hmm.
And she was out there just walking, the biggest little city in the world. And she's walking along the streets there. And there's just homeless people laying in the doorways and, papers just blowing in the street. And
right.
And all you hear are sirens in the background. It just devastated a place like, that obviously their main income is gambling.
Right.
But everything's closed.
It's crazy,
and then this whole rule, I guess, it's not just here in Ohio or there in Ohio or Illinois or wherever it is that you go, but it's the whole, well, you have to buy something to eat if you're going to get a drink.
Yeah, that seems to be the rule for everybody these days, doesn't it?
What is the reason for that? Do you know the reason for that at all?
Well, it's because that's, I don't have any reason. It's because the fucking governors are cunts.
Where did the wisdom of that come from, that you can't get a cocktail of any kind without buying food?
See, this is where you're always slipping, Neely.
Okay.
You're looking for a rational reason for an irrational action.
Well, again, but it had to come up somehow to make that rule. I mean, somebody had to say, well, the reason we did this is because this.
No.
Or we believe this to be the case or whatever. But it's just like, hey, I know, let's make it to where we can't vend alcohol without having to buy food.
It's just a very simple, it's more or less a loophole because the governors know that they control the fucking liquor licenses. So they threaten the liquor licenses and that's what they use it for. They don't give a fuck if you buy any food. Ultimately, they just don't want you selling booze.
Okay.
You know, they want the bars. They want the bars to go out of business. Is what
why should the bars go out of business? How is that helpful to anybody's economy?
Well, you think that they want to help the economy.
Well, you would think so. As a governor of a state, you would think you'd want your state to thrive, wouldn't you?
Well, stop again. You're trying to put rational thought into irrational action. You can't put rational thought into any of this shit. Rational thought would never have allowed CHOP. Rational thought would never allow these fucking cocksuckers to burn down their fucking cities.
Yeah.
Rational thought would not allow any businesses to be closed for something that's fucking no more potent than the flu. But all of it has happened.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to input rational thought into irrational, ridiculous action. It's all a fucking power play.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a fucking, let's make this fucking orange man look like he ruined everybody's life so we can get rid of him. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, on every level. You can't find rational thinking in this nonsense. There is none.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just kind of bizarre. I mean, she was walking by these hotels that are closed for good, and all these gift shops and restaurants, and even some of the casinos. They're just closed for good.
Oh, it's so stupid, and people are so fucking ridiculously stupid afraid of getting sick. I got into a yelling match with a guy today. I finally had that fucking actual yelling match with an asshole today.
Yeah.
So I was driving into Sheetz to get gas and to get a sandwich. Okay. And the way the Sheetz is set up by my house is you kind of drive in, and then you kind of drive up, and then you take a left around the building, and there's like the little kiosk thing that you can order your food with, right?
Right.
Right next to it on the right side of the little parking lot or road or whatever that leads to the back is a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Well, is this the Streetsboro one?
Yeah, no, the Twinsburg.
Oh, okay. All right.
But there's literally a Motel 6 or Super 8 or something right next door to it. So I come pulling in, and there's a guy walking like across the little walkway to go back to the hotel. Okay. So he's coming from the Sheetz building, and he's going to the hotel. But blue gloves on, mask. It's outside. He's not inside. He's outside.
Yeah.
Mask, gloves, whole nine, right? So I'm in my car, and I, of course, I've worn the mask one time now, so I'm not wearing a mask, of course.
Yeah, why would you?
Well, this fucking cockstroke fucking starts yelling at me, "Put your mask on! Be respectful!" I just was like, I looked at this fucking asshole that's outside with his mask on.
Yeah.
And his gloves on and whatever, and I just middle fingered him. I was like, "Fuck you." And he's like, "You got something to say?" So I opened my fucking door, and I threw my car into park, and I opened my door. And I was like, "I got a lot to fucking say, motherfucker." And, and then he just fucking scurried away.
Hey, of course.
I was like, holy shit, what a fucking douchebag. What, I'm going to wear a mask in my car?
Yeah. Well, I still see it every day. People driving solo in their car wearing their mask.
Just fuck off with your fears. Maybe I want to die. Did you ever think of that? Maybe I want to.
Every day when I'm on my way to work, I have to drive through this neighborhood on my way to my office.
Yeah.
And I see this lady on her way to work every day. She walks to work. She wears the blue scrubs. So I'm going to assume she works at, some kind of a medical office or something.
Sure.
She's on the sidewalk every day, walking to work, wearing her mask outside, walking by herself, wearing her mask. So it's like, wow. Okay.
Well, it's for your safety, Neely.
Yeah. She's out there, and there's nobody else around. Nobody.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's just dumb.
It is. It's so stupid. I don't understand what people are doing. It's like this, and the worst part about it is these people are digging their own fear deeper into their soul. These guys are never going to go back to doing anything.
No, you're right.
Because they're going to forever, even on November 4th, when the all clear is given, they're going to be so scared that it's a false no all clear that they're going to stay in their fucking homes.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's really bizarre.
Yeah,
it's really bizarre a world.
It is, dude. We live in a world that's absolutely fucking ass backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it, everything about it, whether it's the politics of things or the irrational fear of things, or just people thinking that they can tell you what to do. That's the part that always gets me, is people that think they're going to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, and again, this goes back to what we were talking about a week or so ago about, Paul Stanley making his comments and stuff. It's like, what do you know more than I do?
Yeah.
Just because you buy into it more than me, does that mean you're all knowing? Do you know something more than me?
Yeah. Wearing clown makeup for 50 years doesn't make you smarter than me. Fuck you.
Yeah. Do you get the news, or do you have insight someplace that I'm not getting it from? What do you know more than I know?
And he gets the news the same place everybody does. One of those 4 lying cocksucking networks.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only place that anybody gets it. It's all fucking lies on any side.
I agree.
It's like, just stop.
Our good friend Sal, he's always keeping me up to date with what's going on in the news. I keep telling Sal, stop watching the news.
Yeah.
Stop watching it.
Yeah, don't watch any of it.
I said, that includes your beloved Fox. Turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn it off.
Yeah, they're no better than anybody else. Wasn't that cocksucker from that did the debate? He was a Fox guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chris Wallace.
Yeah. I liked him better when he was a rapper, personally. When he was the Notorious B.I.G., he was much better.
Right.
Lost all that weight, turned white, and turned into a big fucking lib pussy.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, his dad was on 60 Minutes forever a day.
Yeah, he was a big libtard too. And you know what his dad had? Huge fucking ears.
Yeah, he did.
That motherfucker looked like a mini Dumbo.
But stop watching the media. Quit it. Every one of you, anyone who listens to this show, stop watching the media.
Yeah. If you want to catch the news, I'm going to give everybody some free advice here. Newsy, Newsy. It's pretty much nonpartisan because every story is only like 30 fucking seconds long. They don't get into the whole, well, he said this and he's a Dem or he's a Republican or whatever. Newsy. It's like, boop, boop, Trump has COVID. So does his wife. Boop, boop, end of story. That fast. It's like, this is perfect. You can get all the news of the day in about 10 minutes and you're done.
Yeah.
And you can figure out for yourself what you believe or what you don't.
Yeah. So anyway, I haven't watched any news in over 3 years.
No, I don't watch the news channels at all.
Not at all.
I mean, as I told you yesterday, I made the mistake of fucking turning on the debate, and boy, I am paying for that because now I'm all fucking pissed off about politics again. 90 minutes. I watched 90 minutes for the entire fucking year.
Yeah.
And in those 90 minutes, now I hate everybody again.
Yeah, well, of course.
Oh,
what's not to hate?
Yeah, just terrible.
It is. I did watch the debate. I did not watch it on a news network. I watched it on C-SPAN.
Okay.
Because I didn't want anybody trying to influence my thoughts.
Right.
So I just watch on C-SPAN because they give you just the raw live feed. That's it. There's no commentary. There's no host. Nothing.
Yeah.
So
I wish I could have watched it on UFC Live Pass because that's where it belonged. It belonged in a UFC fucking octagon, not on a stage in Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree. What a weird place to have the debate at the Johns Hopkins University.
Yeah, I'm sure the Cleveland Clinic probably owns that or something. But
yeah, but still, it's just like, why there?
Why anywhere when they're not going to fill the room with people?
Well, again, it's just really weird that they have it at a medical center because what are they afraid one of those guys were going to keel over, or were they afraid Biden was going to die on stage or something?
Well, maybe they had to have a resuscitator ready.
Yeah. Were they afraid Trump was going to go over there and knock his ass out?
How ironic is that everybody's expecting Biden to die any minute now, and Trump's the one that gets the COVID?
Yeah. Well, again, it's just, Trump is out there among thousands and thousands and thousands of people for weeks and weeks on end, and Biden hides in his basement, away from everybody.
Yeah, well, Biden's a bitch.
He is. He's just a weak, feeble old man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So yeah, I watched the debate. I mean, obviously it wasn't quite the the takedown that everybody had hoped it would be on the Trump side.
Right.
But the thing is that you had texted me earlier this week that people were sending you messages asking what I thought of it.
Yep. 50 or 60 of them to be precise.
Really?
Yeah, just tons of messages. What does Neely think? What do you guys think? What's your, and it's like, I'm not going to answer on the fucking Facebook. I'm sure we're going to fucking talk about it.
Well, I'm not going to drag it out. I'll give you my 5 minutes or less on this.
All right.
So, number one, the biggest problem with this debate from the jump
mm-hmm.
was that Chris Wallace was a horrible moderator.
Yeah.
That was number one. That's where things went wrong to begin with. Number two, the place where it started to go on off the rails was that it was an open forum, and
mm-hmm.
there wasn't any real rules aside from the 2-minute rule.
Right.
But here's, and people say Trump was the aggressor. Well, in reality, Biden was the first one who started the whole interrupting thing. He's the one who started it.
Right.
I watched it the first time, and then I watched it a second time to kind of analyze it a little bit, where things started going off the rails. And Trump, he was not going to stand there and let this old man, get in a bunch of lies and talking points, because if you watched it, and I know you were infuriated with it and probably only watched it one time.
Yeah, I didn't watch it again. No.
Yeah, Biden did not talk about any substance as far as points are concerned. He basically read off a prepared script.
You mean off a prepared script that was being fed to him in his ear?
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is he didn't argue any points.
No.
All he did was just read off a prepared statement.
Yeah. And tell us that every move that he's going to make is going to create millions of jobs.
Yeah, sure. Because Trump hasn't, the Trump administration has not created any jobs at all.
He'll create 1 million jobs, but he'll kill 60 million. Fuck off, Biden.
Exactly. So anyway, the thing is that Trump does not get a fair coverage in the media, which everybody knows that. If you've paid any attention at all, Trump does not get covered fairly.
Right.
Never has. So being that so many people were tuned into this thing, this was his one shot to really get his points out there and get them across, even though it seemed like, oh, he's being brash, he's being rude, he's being disrespectful, he's doing this, he's doing that. But him knowing that Chris Wallace, and again, he said it really early on in the debate, well, it looks like I'm debating you instead of Biden, which isn't a big surprise. He said that right off the jump.
Right.
And basically people hate it when Trump calls people out for what it really is. True. And this Chris Wallace came to Biden's defense or basically shielded him at least three times through the whole thing. Once Trump was really getting into the meat of the thing, well, we're going to move on from that. He did that several times. This is like, well, this is an open discussion. This is an open forum. Why don't you have him answer what these discuss? Well, we're moving on to the next thing.
Right.
That wasn't exactly what you want to call open forum. That was just like, well, he has no answer and he's not going to be able to answer. So I'm just going to save his ass and move on to the next thing.
Right.
And he did. So again, Trump was very, ran on his record or talked about his record. And the one thing, and I'm going to wrap it up right here.
Okay.
The one thing, if you're an undecided voter, which I can't understand how anyone could be undecided, but supposedly they exist. The one thing, if you're a true American and believe in the way that, the Constitution has lined out the way things are supposed to be run in this country, the one thing that Biden absolutely would not answer, he would not disavow it, he would not deny it, is when Trump said, "Are you going to pack the court? Is that your intention? Do you intend on packing the Supreme Court?" And he goes, "I'm not going to answer that question."
Right.
And that's it. That right there should be the election for everyone and anyone who has any interest in this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the one reason why you should not vote for Biden if you're thinking that way.
Yeah.
Because that will totally destroy the constitutional way of the separation of powers in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that for what it's worth, but that alone is the, again, if you're a one issue voter, that should be the issue to say, you know what, this guy wouldn't answer. He wouldn't say, no, he's not going to do it, or no, I'm against it, or, that's ridiculous, I'm not doing that. He absolutely would not say no, he wouldn't do that.
Yeah. And I noticed that fuckface Wallace didn't push him on that the way he pushed Trump on the white supremacy thing.
Nope, not at all.
He's like, oh, okay, cool. Moving on.
Not at all. So that's the one thing that I take away from that, regardless of the bickering and the back and the forth and, who came out the winner or who was stronger, or who was not stronger, whatever the case may be. That one thing that Biden absolutely would not answer or give a definitive answer on should be the reason you don't vote for Biden if you believe in the Constitution.
Right.
That's it.
I came out of the debate thinking that they're both cunts, which is how I entered the debate. So that really didn't change very much. But I'll still vote for Trump just because he got rid of the fucking mandate. The only thing I cared about when he was elected was that he got rid of that fucking illegal tax for not having health insurance. He got rid of it, and that's that.
Yeah.
He did the one thing I want him to do. He can have another vote for me. Fuck him. I'm certainly not voting for some fucking old man that probably doesn't remember his name halfway off the stage.
And he did bring that up. He said, I got rid of that mandate, which was the worst part of Obamacare.
Yeah.
He goes, I got rid of it. And he goes, and the thing is, well, people love Obamacare. Do they? Who loves it? Who loves it?
Yeah, people on welfare that get it for free, probably.
I guess.
Not any of us that got to pay for it.
Nope.
Fuck him.
Yeah. So
fuck Obama. Fuck that policy. Trump got rid of it as he said he would do as a campaign promise. Good enough for me. I don't care about anything else that he did. I don't care if he grabs pussy. So do I. So that's fine. I don't give a shit if he's a bore. So am I. So I don't care. All of the nonsense that they try to bring up about the guy, I could give a fuck about. I really don't care. And even the tax thing about his tax returns, who gives a fuck? What person goes out there and says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pay more than I have to.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find out that I only have to pay. I'm going to pay some accountant probably $1 million or $2 million to figure out his fucking ridiculous taxes. And then I'm going to get a number back and they're going to say, well, you have to pay $750. You know what? I'm going to pay $2 million over that. I'm going to be a true American and pay more.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying it's not being said that he cheated on his taxes. It's not being said that he didn't pay what he was due. He worked the system, a system that cocksucking Joe, when he still had a brain that wasn't oatmeal, fucking helped write.
Absolutely.
So go fuck yourself with this tax thing, his tax returns. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and nobody even knows if that's a legitimate thing. That was a leaked thing to the New York Post. And when Trump's lawyer said, well, let me see a copy of it, they wouldn't let him see what it is that they had.
Yeah, of course.
So whoever supposedly leaked these tax returns, if indeed they actually got the real thing,
yeah,
whoever did that if they find out who did that, they need to go to jail forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know about forever. I mean, is it illegal?
It is.
If it's not real, it's not real.
But it's a felony. That's what I said. If it's the real thing.
Oh, if it's a real thing. Yeah.
If it's a real thing and they leak Trump's taxes to the press, that's a felony.
Yeah. That won't happen. If that fucking twatbag Hillary is still not even fucking indicted for anything, there's no way anybody that leaked that's going to jail. Get the fuck out of here. You got fucking Bradley Manning or Chelsea or whatever the fuck that thing's calling itself today. He's out there, writing books and making money. You got Snowden out there getting ready to fucking, come back to the States. You got them all coming, and, whatever. It's just not happening.
Yeah. I hear you. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Helen Kill, how are you guys tonight?
We're good tonight. Who is this? Where are you from?
I'm sorry. This is Robert. I'm from Amarillo. Okay, during the debate, did I mishear things? Because, Biden's fucking crazy. Did he say his plan for the economic growth was we are just going to build ships and grow fucking steel?
Well, he basically...
Are we Vikings? What the fuck?
No. What he tried to do is he tried to steal Trump's platform, which is what Trump has done. He brought the steel mills back, manufacturing steel here in this country and using American-made products to make our own products, whether it's battleships or whatnot for the military. That's exactly what Trump's been doing for the last 3 years. And Biden goes, yeah, I'm going to do that now.
But see, that's when you say it, it makes sense. Biden was stroking out and none of that was followed up with any of that, sir. Another thing, am I the only one that has a problem with the fucker saying his and Obama's economy was just as strong as Trump's when the new norm was, correct me if I'm wrong, was 2% growth, and that was if everything broke the way they wanted it to? What the fuck, man? Come on. It was ridiculous. Trump had to interrupt. Biden's bitch, Chris Wallace, fed him the answers because Fox hired people who gave Hillary the answers. And I was shocked that no one knew the difference. Trump got topics. Biden got the fucking answers and the questions. Big difference to me.
Yeah.
He has to interrupt. And the first thing that blew my mind, and you guys are better than me because I had to watch it later, because when they had Christie from Dirty Jersey on, and he literally said, Trump didn't take my advice, and that hurt him. And I'm like, he's the leader of the motherfucking world. What could you have contributed to do any fucking better than he did, dumbass? Good God, man. How arrogant are these fuckers? If you're to listen to me, I won, motherfucker. I don't need your help. That's like if I told Belichick, if you took my advice, I'd still have rings, fucker. You contribute nothing. And this is how dumb the world is, and this is what should scare all of us. When Trump got diagnosed with COVID, I actually heard people in my local media say, now Pence is president. And I'm like, no, it's like you, asshole. You work at home, motherfucker, like you've been doing for 6 months. I'm like, what is wrong with people, guys? Jesus.
Well, they're ignorant and they're sheep, and they just follow whatever Facebook or the social media or the mainstream media gives them. So they know nothing.
And you mentioned masks. I'm waiting on a to-go order. I had to go inside. I have a mask on. I sneeze inside a mask, which is gross as shit. A dude jumped behind his wife. And like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die. Like, you're not going to die, fucker. You're fine. I was in a store, and my son sneezed. And this woman dropped over her daughter like a bomb was being dropped, like in Japan, to shelter from the blast.
Duck and cover.
This keeps me awake at night. And one last thing. I appreciate you guys. One last thing that blows my mind is on the media, they said, okay, Trump's got the COVID, so he's going to die. And then Mike Pence is around him, so he's going to die. So at one point, we had trending President Pelosi. And I'm like, first of all, is Hillary running this fucking campaign? Because that's a shitload of deaths from people who don't know they're sick. Second of all, could you think of a scarier phrase to ever read than that? Helen Kill. 10 jobs. And the Biden and his bitch, Chris Wallace, fuck you, pal.
All right, then. There we go.
Yeah, there's a guy had some thoughts.
Yeah, he did.
He had a few things on his list. Got them all off his chest.
Well, good. I hope he feels better now.
Yeah, well, we're just here to help.
That's right.
Just here to help, trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah, we're trying our best here, friends. We are trying.
Trying to do the best for the CMS Army.
That's right. The Army.
The CMS Army.
Aren't they a Legion? I thought they were a Legion.
They are Legion. I'm sorry. It is the CMS Legion.
That's right.
Yeah. How could I forget? Yeah, we're the captains of this boat.
Well, you are. I'm just along for the ride, my friend.
First mate Chris Aiken here.
That's right. I'm cracking the whip.
Little buddy. You're like the Gilligan of the ship.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm like the fat old skipper.
Well, no, I think we definitely need to flip that.
Who gets to bang Marianne and who gets to bang Ginger?
Well, neither of those two got to, did they?
No.
No. One of us going to have to be the professor or something. Look, if I'm stuck on an island, I'll even be Thurston Howell the Third. At least there's some pussy to bang.
Exactly. Oh God. Well, anyway, that's it. That's my thoughts on the debate. But again, if you care about this country, you care about the Constitution of anything, that one answer alone that should have summed it up for you.
Right. Look at that. Just that fast. Me captaining the potato boat jumps up in the chat room.
There you go. That's when you had the short hair.
Yeah. Look at how short my hair was. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Look at Chris in the potato boat.
Jesus. And that's post-divorce. So that should tell you, how long it's been it's been a long time since I got divorced now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And I grew my hair fucking 3 feet long since then.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Look at that with the short hair. God. Doesn't even seem like me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. How fast time flies.
Yeah. No shit. Wow. So there you go. People that wanted to know Neely's take. There it is.
Mm-hmm. I just thought Trump was just trying to get his accomplishments out there and talk about the real issues, not the pre-scripted ones that Biden had on his lectern there.
Is there a reason that they have to have 40 fucking issues as talking points? Can't they just pick like the top 4 and let them just go at each other for like 15 minutes on each issue? It just seems so stupid to say, okay, we're going to talk about healthcare. You've got 2 minutes. What can you say in 2 minutes?
Not a whole lot.
Why not just let them have like 8 minutes each on healthcare so they could kind of explain their fucking plan, 5 minutes, and then leave in 5 minutes for them to fucking fight with each other. Why can't they do that instead of, okay, go. And then 10 seconds in, it's, you're fucking stupid. No, you're fucking stupid. Jesus.
Well, but here's the thing. And Trump is much as he's known for making up names for different people, whether it's Sleepy Joe or,
right.
Or anything. He never once called Joe a name ever. He didn't call him a liar. He didn't call him a name. He didn't call him Sleepy Joe, nothing. But Biden called Trump a liar at least 15 times, called him a clown, and told him to shut up twice.
Yeah.
Would you just shut up? Would you just shut up?
Be honest. Did you not expect Trump to come out from behind the podium when he got told to shut up? I did. Wouldn't that have been great if Biden would have told him to shut up and Trump just fucking marched his way over there and said, what did you fucking say?
Well, the one thing that he did say to Biden that, in my opinion, really, really put him in his place was, don't ever use the word smart with me. You can't even remember where you went to school.
That was funny.
Yeah. Don't ever use the term smart with me.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing smart about you.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, interesting. It was interesting. I didn't take anything away from it. Just the whole Supreme Court thing. That's the only thing that really stood out for me.
The only thing I took away was that if they have the other two debates, I will not be watching.
Well, I don't blame you.
Fuck that. I've seen enough.
Yeah.
I already know who I'm voting for, so I don't know why I would fucking watch it anyway.
Yeah, well, I think people were looking for, they were probably looking for Trump to just stomp Joe into the ground.
Oh, that's why I turned it on. That's absolutely why I turned it on. I wanted to see the clown show. I wanted to see the fucking bumbling fool look like a bumbling fool. And I will give Biden credit. While he didn't have anything at all to say, he at least stood his ground. He didn't just cower like a bitch. He stood there. I mean, he didn't say anything smart, but he stood in.
Well, he stuck to his script. He read off his teleprompter. He stuck to his script, and that's all he did. He didn't argue any points. He had no points to argue.
Yeah,
and he just stayed with his pre-prepared script.
You think he was wearing Depends?
I don't know. He didn't have to take some bathroom breaks or something.
He wanted to. He wanted he wanted breaks every 30 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And I think they said no. So that made me think that maybe they slapped on some Depends on his old ass.
Could be.
That would be a great story if it just came out. Biden wears Depends at fucking thing.
And who's going to report that, being that the media is in the tank for the Dems?
Alex Jones.
Would he?
Yeah.
I understand that, during the debates that Joe Biden was wearing Depends. I got some inside information. Somebody who worked in the Trump campaign behind the scenes.
It's breaking news here at InfoWars. There's a real piss take I'm going to give you here. A real piss take, Neely.
Yeah, literally a piss take.
Literally a piss take. Joe Biden's wearing Depends. He's wearing Depends during the debate, Neely. He was. First the frogs were gay, now Biden's wearing Depends. That's the way it was.
I see Alex Jones is now being rebroadcast on YouTube now.
Oh, is he?
I've seen his full shows up on YouTube. So they haven't been pulling them down. I don't know if it's InfoWars that's posting it or somebody's reposting it. I don't know, but I see, you can watch the entire show on YouTube. So I really don't know who's putting it up there.
Yeah, I was not aware. I check him out every once in a great while on BitChute, because there is a BitChute channel that reposts all of his stuff. So I tend to watch that, like him and Styx. Those are my two BitChute guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't get enough Alex Jones. I mean, you can't watch him a lot. Like, you can only watch a little bit, because then you actually fucking get lost into his bullshit. But man, he is when he gets roaring, it is fucking great. It is great TV, radio, whatever we're calling that these days.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's T Radio V.
It's T Radio V.
Exactly. So, well, speaking of that, social media and all.
Yeah,
I was listening to Mark Levin this week, and he's got like the third largest radio show in the country.
Okay,
he's got like 20 million listeners.
Wow.
And he's talking about getting off of Facebook and Twitter and going to Parler.
Good for him.
He's already on Parler, but he's talking about closing down his Facebook presence.
Sure.
And possibly getting off Twitter as well.
People just need to. That's I mean, Levin would be a nice one to do it exclusively. And it does seem like the conservative guys have had enough.
Yeah, because they keep getting censored. Everything they do is labeled a conspiracy or a false story or this and that, when it's really not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I saw that he's getting ready to leave and go to Parler. And that other guy, that Dan Bongino.
Yeah.
He's like a stakeholder in Parler, I think.
Yeah, well, he started his own page, kind of like the Drudge Report, because the Drudge Report has gone all lefty liberal now.
Yeah.
Because I guess they're owned by CBS now, or a good portion of them, or something like that. So all of their reporting is all lefty liberal shit now.
Right.
So Dan Bongino started his own page called the Bongino Report.
Right.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I see it all the time on again, it's on yet another one that we're on that he actually bought into, Rumble.
Yeah.
I see his posts every day on Rumble. So yeah, he's out there, which is he's a big name too, isn't he?
Well, he's getting there.
Yeah.
Like when Mark Levin has a day off or something, a lot of the time Bongino will fill in host for him.
Okay. Well, yeah, he's I did see that he's, he bought into Rumble, and I think he bought into Parler as well. Like, he put his money behind himself, and and more power to him, man. I'm glad to see any of these guys do that kind of shit, Yeah,
put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we put all our money in behind the CMS radio network. We put our money where our mouth is.
That's right.
So while you have a few minutes here, talk about all the changes that have been made, or all the, consolidations that you've done, and the updates on the websites you've done, and, the domains that are new, and where everything can be found and backed up. And, no matter what happens, regardless of social media, wherever it is that we post, where you post all of our stuff, if any one of those go under, or we get banned or thrown off, or the platform becomes defunct or whatever, we'll never get
shut
down because you've backed everything up on your personal servers and things.
Yeah. This started with this idea, month and a half ago, about merging us, Aftershocks, and Skull Sessions together. Since we kind of promote all three shows anyway, it just made sense to put them all in one place. So I put the podcast all in one place. But then, when this Spotify, as soon as we put everything onto Anchor, and that took a long time to get everything to Anchor. Once we got everything to Anchor, then, of course, this Spotify nonsense with Joe Rogan fired up.
Mm-hmm.
And Anchor is owned by Spotify, of course, which literally scared the living fuck out of me, that we have our whole entity on a platform that potentially is going to start censoring shit. So I made the steps I built us our own RSS feed, which it's techie shit, but I built us our own feed. And what I did was I built over the course of the last week, I built I rebuilt the CMS, I rebuilt the CMS podcast network, and I rebuilt Aftershocks, and I built a Skull Sessions page, merged them all into one. They're all like entities of the CMS podcast network now. You could still go to, aftershockspodcast.com or theclassicmetalshow.com, but it's going to lead you to pages that are built into the CMS podcast network.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what I tried to do is build it so that it's kind of a smorgasbord of everything that people like for podcasts. All the links are on every page if you want to subscribe. If you want to subscribe with Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Overcast or whatever, all the links are there. If you like to do it kind of the Spotify way, where you don't necessarily download anything, you just play it on a page, I built pages on the same pages, also just have a straight player right on them.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to download the podcasts and play it off of your computer or your phone whenever you want without any software, you can do that as well on the pages. And if you want to watch it on video, you can do that on the pages. So it's kind of like every podcast that we do from now on, like last week, the Ace Frehley page was popular. and you could do everything on the Ace page. If you went to our page now with the Ace Frehley, you can subscribe to the podcast. You can download that episode. You can watch it on video. You can listen to it on audio, all on the same page within the new CMS pages on CMS Podcast Network, cmspn.com. So It's all in one place. You know, I realize that I've been doing a lot of changes. I apologize to those of you that fucking react to change like it's going to kill you. Fuck you. That's the way I do things. And it is set now. It's set up to, I don't think I'll be making any more changes. I think the pages look fucking really nice, you know? So, you know, going forward, you can either sign up to get everything delivered to your phone, or you can go to the pages individually and just listen at your leisure, whatever you want to do. It's all in one place. Easiest way to get there is just cmspn.com. Or, of course, if you want the individual shows, just go to the individual show podcast, and I'll take you to those sub pages of cmspn.com.
Yeah. And get the app. If you do shit on your phone, the app is for free. And it's a really effective app. It doesn't have glitches. It has no problems at all. It loads extremely quickly. And it's free. And if you don't have it on your phone, why not?
Yeah. And boy, that app has been just driving me as if I didn't have enough going on trying to revamp the whole way we do business online. The fucking app, of course, I don't know if you realize, but we've already had the app a year. And with us having the app a year, I had to, not me, but the actual app developers had to do some work on the app right now. I had to pay the new fee for having the Apple once again. You know, I had to renew my certificate or some shit that was like $100 or something.
Sure.
But all of the stuff that they needed to do some stuff for Google. They needed to do some stuff for Apple. All of the stuff they have to do. And they're in France. So everything has been this fuckery of French time. So it's been like, okay, well, I need you to log into your Google account, and I need you to go to your Google developer account, and I need you to click this and then tell me. But I need you to tell me before 6 a.m. because that's the end of our workday. 6 a.m. So I'm like getting up at 4 in the fucking morning to accept terms on some bullshit and then email this guy.
Right.
You know, it's just been fuckery all week with this nonsense, but whatever. I like the app too. Most times that's what I use. You know, yeah. I do have the feeds on my phone to download everything, but most times if I listen, I just listen. Truthfully, I don't listen to anything that we do recent. Most of the time I just throw on the CMS 24/7 and just laugh at our stupidity sometimes.
Yeah. The new server I bought, a few months ago
works great.
I bought the brand new Sam's and I bought a brand new server, and it is flawless. Just cranks right along. And, since people do watch the video sometimes.
Yeah.
Here's my iPhone. Here's the CMS app.
Yeah.
Click. There's the app popping right up there.
Yep.
It loaded. I'm going to hit play. And since people do watch the video.
There you are.
Yeah. Here's my iPhone. Here's the CMS app. Yeah. Click. There's the app popping right up there. Yeah. It loaded. I'm going to hit play. And since people do watch the video. There you are.
And loop.
Yeah, there you are. Just like that.
Yeah, it works fine. It works great.
See how quick that is? It took, less than 10 seconds to get that launched and just playing. So if you don't have that on your phone and you use your phone for audio shit and you don't have the app yet, go get it. It's free.
It's free.
Yeah. And also people who've been buying the CMS shirts, appreciate that. Got an email from Marcus out of New Jersey. He ordered a shirt during the show last week.
Okay.
He says, I just received my CMS shirt this afternoon.
Ooh.
Got a call service.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thanks again. Fast shipping and top-notch quality graphic t-shirt. And there was no self-addressed stamped envelope required. I am loving this.
Wow,
Hail and pal, your friend at the Jan Patrick Emotional Load Emergency Response Team, Marcos in New Jersey.
Wow, that's a fan there. Holy smokes.
So thank you, Marcus.
Hey, he's a real hardcore fan.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep. People love the CMS shirts.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So, they're available, and Chris puts them up there, and you can just click on and buy one.
Yeah.
And I get them out to you as quick as I can.
Sure.
People get them usually within a week, unless, of course, you live over in Ireland or something.
Right.
Did you see that email from our guy in Ireland?
No.
Joe in Ireland.
Joe and Ireland.
Yeah, I CC'd you in on the email.
When?
This week, on Tuesday.
I don't know.
So I wanted you to see his comment.
What did he say?
Well, he said he contacted me. I sent his shirt out like on the 25th, I think it was, of what was it? It was like the 25th of August, I think it was. It took several weeks because of the COVID, and he lives in Ireland, and, it took weeks to get there, And so he contacted me, and he was just like, hey, man, I ordered a gasoline station attendant shirt back in August, and I never got it. And, I don't know what happened to it. And, well, fortunately, I kept the
tracking thing.
Yeah, because international shipment, and I looked at it, and it showed it was like in, I don't know, somewhere. It's just it was en route.
Okay.
So I was just like, hey man, it's still en route. You're gonna get it. Hopefully you'll get it. So this past Tuesday on the 29th of September. So it took a month.
Wow.
To get there, because I shipped it out on like the 26th or 27th of August, and it got there on Tuesday the 29th.
Okay.
And so he hit me up. He's like, hey, Neely, just letting you know that the shirt finally arrived. Sorry for being such a pain in the ass. I just wasn't expecting it to take so long. It looks awesome. So cheers to both you and Chris for the shirt and the show. I'm going back to college, and I'm surrounded by libtards, but I'll convert a few guys to the show anyway if they aren't a bunch of pussies. Cheers again. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Hand job. Joe in Ireland.
You're probably going to get an email from Joe next week saying, Neely, just want to know I wore the shirt and I got kicked out of college.
I got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
It's because I said pussies. I called the guys pussies.
That's right.
And I got kicked out for inappropriate speech, hate speech.
That's right.
I got kicked out for hate speech.
Wouldn't shock me now, would it?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But, that's why people tune into the show. It's their own private heaven, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's the one place they can hear, it's the echo chamber to their heads.
I guess.
Because you can't hear this kind of shit anywhere else, I guess.
Nope. Not unless you watch Anthony.
Yeah. Which I do.
I do. I've been watching some of the Anthony stuff this week on the YouTube.
Dude, did you see the SJW Mafia segment?
I did. I saw it. I actually saw it before you actually sent it to me.
God damn it, that was funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The woke mafia.
Yeah, the woke mafia. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, but I like the one where Anthony was doing the whole 50s thing again about the Negroes moving in next door.
Oh, yeah.
This is how we reacted when Negroes moved in next door.
Right.
Those 50 educational films, just hysterical, man.
They really are. They didn't hold up well at all.
No, but Anthony always puts on that whole effect on his voice.
Right.
Look at little Johnny. He's out in the street playing stickball with his friends. Oh, look, it's a little Negro boy who wants to join the game.
Beat him. Too funny.
Good for Anthony, man.
Yeah, love it.
I like what he does. I like what he did. I like, his network, and that he put another guy who put his money where his mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
And, established his own thing.
Yeah. And is doing fine with it. It seems like.
It seems okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, maybe he'll smile down on this lowly show one day, and he'll come on here.
He will eventually. We'll make it happen eventually.
We heard that when he released his book 2 years ago.
I know, dude. I do try. you're going to see Dave in, a month. Maybe you'll have more success than I will.
Yeah, but you're the web guy.
I know, dude. I ask every time. I read you the email that I sent last time. I'm
not holding you responsible. It's just like, why is this so hard?
Yeah, because Ant wants to play his video games instead of doing interviews.
I guess.
I get it. He's doing what he's doing. You don't have to do it. I'd love him to do it. I want him to do it. He'll probably do it eventually, but just have to kind of, and it's that delicate balancing act. If you bug him too much, then it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't be like, every time I talk to Dave, I can't be like, hey, where's that interview? What are we doing here? Because if I do that, then I'll be like, all right, fuck you, dude. I'm going to find another web guy.
Yeah. Quit being such a faggot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude, I'd be the same way. If somebody wanted to interview you and every time I talk to them, they asked me about interviewing you, I'd be like, fuck you. Go away. Ask him yourself, fuckface.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right. I say we take a break.
All right.
So let you pick a tune.
All right. How about Iron Maiden, Hooks in You?
Hey, speaking of Iron Maiden, did you happen to see that 2-minute video that Bruce put out?
No.
He put like a 2-minute video out to the fans, just saying, hey, hey, what's up? We're hanging in there. We hope you are too. We got some plans, if and when this COVID, lets up. We miss touring and we miss being out on the road, and we hope everybody's doing okay. Dude, the Bruce has let his hair grow out.
Oh, has he? Has he got the long hair now?
Yeah, he's got the long hair. It's longer than mine.
Nice. Well, good for him. I mean, when we all first were introduced to him, he was a long-haired guy.
Yeah.
2 Minutes to Midnight, Bruce, he had long hair.
Yeah. So, it's kind of interesting because it's all gray and shit,
He is 100.
He isn't that old, is he? He's like, 62? Maybe?
I don't know how old Bruce Dickinson is. Let's see. Bruce Dickinson. He is, he's born in a small town in 58. So he's 62. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on his way out.
I don't know. I saw it today. It was just like, just kind of like, hey, just saying, just checking in. Just we're ready to do something when we can.
Great, Bruce. Glad to hear from you.
Yeah.
At least I didn't have to fucking hear about politics or masks from you.
Yeah.
Or did we? Or did he say that?
No, he didn't really say anything about that. He just was saying that they're working on some stuff and just waiting for this COVID to go away so they can get back out on the road.
Right. Good. Can't wait. I saw they announced another live album. Can't wait for that.
Because that's what we need. We need another live album.
Why is it that they can't put out a fucking Blu-ray? They got 8 million live albums out there. Not one of them is available on Blu-ray.
I don't know.
And now Blu-ray's already fucking dying. So they're probably
will be way out too.
Yeah. So there probably never is going to be a Blu-ray of Iron Maiden. Interesting.
Yeah. So what song was it you wanted?
Hooks in You. It's on No Prayer for the Dying.
Okay. All right. I got it.
Cool.
So we'll play a few tunes, 3 tunes, because that's what Chris needs to upload the video.
I'm going to grab tablet number 1 here so that I can do the first video.
Well, look at that. You're doing all your producing on the fly.
Dude. Well, it's more on different machines so that I can not have any machine tied up while I'm doing this. And then next week it'll be even better because I'll have that brand new Super Mac sitting in front of me. Did I tell you about I didn't tell you that. I'll tell you this real quick and then we'll play the song. So I talked to my brother this week, and he of course has the Super Mac already. When I told him I bought one, he was like, "Oh, I already have one." And I started asking him about specs. And the one thing he told me was a place to buy RAM. So I've upgraded my RAM now from what I had bought to 96 gigs of RAM.
Wow, that's massive.
So it's going to be an i9 10-core processor with 96 gigs of RAM.
Wow.
This goddamn thing is going to be more than capable of launching a space shuttle.
Yeah, no kidding.
It is going to be a monster. And we will have none of these microphone problems or video problems or anything moving forward because everything will run through the RAM.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Perfect. All right. Well, here's Bruce Dickinson and company with Iron Maiden, Hooks in You, exclusively here
on your classic metal show.